Anyway, let's get back to the talk. We only have 50 minutes because we have a next panel right after this one.
Okay, so let's be quick.
No, well, not be quick. Just ask proper questions. There's not a lot of you here, so it might actually work out. Go. We're going to answer questions about mod development here at BetterThanMinecon 2015.
If there are any.
Yeah, if there are any.
I've got one I'm trying to
How
work.
do you mod if you can't speak code? If you can't speak code, I think there are many bucket plugin solutions that let you code in some kind of scripting language. You can also use command blocks, I guess.
You can also use 1.8 and do JSON.
Command blocks are definitely the
Yes,
most important way
JSON
to
is
go.
not code. JSON is not code.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Technically.
What's your opinion on power creep? Maybe someone else will answer this one. I think I answered this one already. But I'll also go because I'm the Buildcraft guy. Does anyone else want to answer?
You do it.
Okay, so as the developer of Buildcraft and the mod which is now probably famous for not giving in to power creep at all, except the robots maybe, I think that the power creep's main reason is that if some modder wants to make their own mod and they want people to use it easily, they can just make it have slightly higher generation than everything else.
Okay,
And so you get better and better generators, but then the machines which use it also have to keep up, because otherwise you're left with an imbalanced system where there's much more energy than anything can use. So you get machines which eat a lot more energy, and since they eat more energy, a mod needs to come out which generates more of it to keep up with those machines. Ad infinitum. Also, actually no. The thermal expansion called the Dynamo actually generates twice as much energy as the Buildcraft chilling engine.
Yep.
Okay, someone asked, can you make a mod that escapes to attenders? And as has been said before, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed, but we're going to give something.
And someone else asked, what is your opinion on Teethcraft? Does anyone know what that is?
Yes, it's a mod that has dentists. I
Right.
don't really like dentists, so I don't like it. End of story.
That's a weird idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's a bit
MMS once made a mod jam mod where you could, I think you could do surgeries on mobs. Anyway,
Someone asked Sangar a question.
what were some issues Sangar, yes. What were some issues you came across when developing OC?
When developing OC, I think one of the core issues, if you can call it that, was getting the whole multi-threaded thing working correctly without deadlocks and everything like that, because all of the computers obviously have to run as separate threads, so they don't lock up the server or the client for that matter when they do stuff in Lua, which can be inputted by users, of course, so it can do infinite loops until they're broken, which obviously is no timeout. So yeah, that was one of the more annoying things. And another of the tricky parts was basically the robots, so basically have moving blocks without having to resend the entire state every move. So that was also interesting to work around. Other than that, no real big issues, I'd say.
Two people asked that we all introduce ourselves and say what mods we worked on. I think we should go left to right, so Talk would go first.
Who would go first?
Thog needs to type. And then I'll have to read it out.
Okay, so Sky is going to read it out. So, or you could... Yeah, Fog. Okay, so Sky, you go. We don't have much time.
Okay. Okay. So what I have helped Vic with integrated circuits. For example, the reason why the GUI of the PCB layout CAD is now takes up the whole screen is because of me.
Alright, and Vic makes integrated circuits, as we know from you. Now Dark Hacks.
Someone said...
I think Dark Hacks is typing, guys.
Okay.
She's making Guavla. She's making Guavla, the white add-on.
Okay,
Yeah, he's muted him on.
Vic works on Nova and also ported Vec's Better Storage, and they also wrote their own mod. They also wrote another mod called VChat, which tweaks the chat a little, and
A lot.
uh,
Okay, now shadow facts.
I work on Nano Overdrive with Simeon.
Right. LJFA.
I am fairly new to all this. I made only a few small mods, glass shards, TNT utils, and I also worked on a few other mods from other people, like I helped Big with integrated circuits and a few other small contributions to other mods.
Right. Sangar.
Yeah, pretty much open computers. I mean, tiny stuff for experimentation next to that, but that's pretty much the main mod I do.
Okay, Max Power.
I used to do TechMC and Advanced HUD. Since discontinued those, I've been working on a XY Craft tank revamp with Lord Mouse for a while now.
Right. Dramatic.
am I going to have to type it? Am I going to
Open
have to read it out?
Automation. It's an open computers add-on which adds things. And Blay.
I make
Lasers.
IRA IRC, IRA emoticons, cooking for blockheads, default key config,
Okay.
and I help out Dinios with refined relocation.
Okay, so let's get back to questions. Do we have something interesting?
Someone asked what would Nova do to people who don't mod, and I guess people who don't plan on modding. And I'm going to say this: if it all goes successfully, which it appears to be, it should mean that mod updates should happen around it wouldn't be the mod that updates, it'd be Nova that updates, which should happen quicker.
Yes, because it's only one mod.
Yeah.
Okay. When will Psycraft come out, and when it does, will it be bundled with Balance Corrector and Red Power? Okay. Well, Psycraft is defined as vaporware, which also answers Dan Grounds' question. It's a mod which we saw once, and it disappeared from the face of the earth.
If I may put my input here, I think some of it was that the mod got popular, the author realized that he could make more money streaming, so he started streaming.
I guess.
There are at least two Psycraft replacements, basically.
Anyway, Gyro has a question. So far, I haven't found a well-documented GUI library. What's the best way out of that? Documenting OpenModSlip, which I have to add has a fairly good GUI toolkit, or writing a new library, or something else altogether? Does anyone?
Well, Nova should have a good GUI library when Vic finishes it.
It's fairly good, yes. OpenModSlip, however, has more like default components. It's good, but the problem with OpenModSlip is that it's really a private open blocks library kind of thing, and it might change without warning.
And it's also not terribly well documented. That's the question.
Yeah, well, as I said, it's a private form. Anyway, what is your opinion on universal energy? Is it better than 3 less than types of energy that need additional compatibility? So, universal energy, anyone has any opinions? I guess. So, my opinion, I actually moved Buildcraft to Redstone Flux, but yeah, I did it because I wanted to help modpack makers and because RF is similar enough to MG to do it. I didn't do it because I wanted to be unified with everyone, really. Actually, I did it because I was running a private server and needed it, but that's another story.
So,
Darkhack says, I am not a huge TechMod fan, but I prefer RF. It is much more supported and easier to use. And Sandro Matic says, I don't like it because I dislike unified things.
I want to say, can people... My god, the chat is so busy and fast.
I'm monitoring it. Next, is there any good magic mods that have a magic system that's similar to programming? Sangar? You're the only one who makes a mod which is about programming, pretty much.
I don't know. I mean, you could say that.
We were joking. I remember we were joking about making open computers run on mana as a config option.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that configuring the golems from Stormcraft is a little bit like programming, I guess, if you say it's visual programming.
Is
But
designing a circuit
other than
programming?
that... Huh! Is that magic, though?
Next. Hang on. Hang
It's
on.
not unsimilar,
What?
I guess.
What are the difficulties of moving to a new power system? Sangar supports the most of them out of us, I think. He supports like 5.
Yeah, I think the main issue is figuring out the conversion values, because that's pretty much what the... I mean, technically it's not that difficult if you have a good framework where you can just plug in the other stuff. The mostly annoying stuff is when the power system does stuff that either lacks parameters that you need, like sightedness, stuff like that. But other than that, technically it's not that difficult. It's the figuring out how the power system generates power and what the values are similarly to the other systems. So,
okay, next question. What is the trickiest part of starting Minecraft modding? I think some of the newer people would be better at this one.
finding an idea.
Yeah,
finding an idea.
Finding an idea.
I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say learning the language too. I feel like lots of people jump into modding without learning Java at all.
I think actually, I mean, assuming someone knows Java, I think the main difficulty, other than finding the idea, of course, is figuring out how the Minecraft engine works. Because documentation is really scarce, especially after you get beyond the basic Redstone Tools mod. It's really scarce.
You can work through that, and there's quite a lot of open source mods now where you can look stuff up.
Yes,
so.
it was different in 1.2.5, where actually
sure.
a lot. I've seen quite a lot of mods be licensed to MLPL version 1, and quite a few because they use BuildCraft code back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Logistics Pipes, Apple Milk Tea, a few other ones which had the license because of copying code. This is a great question. Do you have nice and funny stories? Maybe somewhat silly.
Really?
Yeah, funny, nice, silly from modding. I have one which is related more to programming than to modding. I was debugging an issue in my game for 3 weeks, like all the blocks were behaving erratically in my own game. And then I realized, I looked up the switch statement which decided each block's logic, and I realized I forgot a break. And I was looking for the best part is I was looking for it for 3 weeks, and I released 5 patch versions that made it better somehow.
Oh, that's also great.
Okay.
And I think the weirdest one I had was having an issue, and then it turned out it was some other core mod that changed something somewhere.
Yeah,
That
Chisel
was
had
fun.
that issue. Chisel had that issue with CFH core changing a shift-clicking behavior, I believe.
Yeah, I
And,
think that was it.
and the dev
Yep.
couldn't reproduce it because his dev environment didn't have CFH core and everyone else did.
Yeah, I had that too, yeah.
Okay, next question. I added too many mods to my Minecraft and it keeps crashing. What can I do? For the newbies, generally we recommend, I recommend at least, that you use pre-existing mod packs. There's hundreds of these now, and that way you can blame someone else and not us.
Yeah.
True.
Also, don't forget the denotated WAN.
Yes, you need more denotated WAN in your computer. Currently a web dev and sysadmin, my friends wants me to start modding. Where do I begin with Forge? The main question, if you know Java, I think WAPI's tutorials and the Forge wiki would be a good start. And after that you should study the source code of mods, especially the simpler ones, but also the more complex ones, because the latter are usually, but not always, better written.
Okay, so someone just gave a feature request to Vic about adding FPGAs. Just wants to know that. Vic is saying Britannia is a good source and Buildcraft. So Britannia and Buildcraft source code is good if you need to I guess, find code to use.
I also recommend Railcraft code. It has a slightly weird structure, but it has one style because for most of its life it was all a closed source. And okay, how do you solve arguing moments in development? That is, I think what he means is that, like, when you have two developers and they have and their mods somehow conflict and they start arguing about whose fault it is. How do you solve it? My answer is I generally don't. I just wait. I just either work it around on my side if I know I won't reach the developer, or get the other developer to fix it if I know I can reach the developer. Yeah, like Greg and Mdio. Anyone else?
Yeah, if anything conflicts, I usually see if I can do anything about it, because why not?
And that's a good one. Which mod appears better to you, Red Logic or Project Red? I think we should add Blue Power to the list, so we have 3. So what do you prefer? Personally, I like Red Logic because I never liked all of RP2, and Red Logic gives me the most important part.
Okay.
I never really used either Blue Power or Red Logic.
Right.
Okay, Dan Granos is asking a question. Have you ever made /saw a mod that isn't compatible with anything except itself or Minecraft? That is very simply answerable. Dan Granos, have you seen Better Than Wolves? That is like not compatible with anything.
Also the new cubic chunks.
Yeah.
What do you mean by new? What version of Minecraft?
The 1.8 cubic chunks, because there's also
what?
there's cubic chunks for Minecraft 1.8.3. It has a custom mod loader.
Oh, huh.
And the old beta cubic chunks kinda worked with other mods, but barely, if I recall correctly. Kalklaga's in. What license do you typically decide on for mods? I've noticed the MIT one is picking up, so... Anyone else?
Yeah, OC is MIT, so I just pick it because it's pretty much the simplest one that's still a license.
My mods...
Creative Commons.
That's bad, because Creative Commons is explicitly not designed for code.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think Vic will ever change it, because Vic is Vic.
Vicky.
I usually use MIT or GNU LGPL.
I use the MIT, but Buildcraft doesn't use the MIT. The main reason is that I tried to relicense it, but then we ran into an issue with not being unable to agree on a different license easily. Anyway, do you miss Red Power? No.
No, enough replacements
I barely
for that.
used it.
There's enough mods that fill the gaps, I think.
I think it's unfortunate, but
Yeah, well, sure, but...
Well, it was a game changer in the
It
Minecraft
definitely was,
community.
yes.
It was a game changer. So many mods, however, were game changers. IC was a game changer. BC was a game changer. But they're all like became niche or gone now because of like the mod landscape changing. The pioneers go away and new mods come up, which try to innovate further.
Okay, can I ask a question for Vic? I asked Vic why they wouldn't switch away, and Vic answered because they're lazy. Now, don't mind me when I go and pester Vic on IRC to relicense to something more sane.
Okay. When is it okay, game design-wise, to fill a niche another mod did, but it's mechanically different? So, like, you're doing the same thing another mod does, you're just using a different mechanic. I'd say it's always okay, because a modpack author can just remove it. They can choose which one they prefer, and if it's a different mechanic, then sure, it varies things up and lets players have more freedom choosing what to play. More creativity and more ways to do things, and it's always good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep, me too.
Okay, do you think that we need more adventure mods, since that is where Minecraft itself is going?
Yeah, I think we do. I think lots of mods are expanding themselves to be like adventure mods. There's a lot of like story in mods. Like if you look at like Blood Magic or that sort of thing, there's a lot of like backstory almost. So
I personally hate the beta 1.8 and later changes. I'm one of the old peas. But I think that we do have another supply of good adventure mods, like new dimensions, new mobs, that kind of thing, exploration and fighting. We've all here focused on mods which try to be technological, either in a tech or magic thing, or decorations or utility mods. But maybe that's because adventure mods are much harder to design. How do you feel about giving server admins and pack devs tons of config options?
Great. I mean, why wouldn't you give them options?
I guess it kind of depends. You shouldn't leave your game design completely to config options. And if you do lots of config options, then you need to make sure to keep your config file clean so people can still use it properly.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have a lot of options, you should document them.
I think it totally depends on your mod type too. Like tech mods make sense to have a lot of configuration.
Yeah.
Sometimes like magic mods and that sort of thing, it doesn't really make sense to have configuration because of how the mechanics are so like tightly tied together.
Yeah, I suppose.
Vic says if you can change a mod to a point where it's mainly a shadow of itself, it's not worth it.
Yep.
Well, it depends on the effort you have to put into making it configurable. If it's just adding a line somewhere that changes a number somewhere, then, I mean, if someone else feels it's more fun to play it that way, why not enable them to?
For a fun fact, for integrated circuits, I had to poke around with it a bit. I ended up poking around with it a bit to make it have configure options for every individual part because Vic told me to.
Next up, mods that allow transfer of things. Well, I made one. I made Internet. The problem with that is, if you make one, the 12-year-olds will come screaming at you and say, "Creative mode, creative mode, creative mode!" And your server mod is going to be disabled for bugs by default, because otherwise they'll cry about men in black suits hacking into their server and stuff. Minecrafter says, what do you think about 1.9's new features, seeing as most of the features are basically taken from mods? Personally, I feel like I hate many of the changes, like dual wielding or the new arrow stuff. The new arrow stuff is a poor workaround to the issue of PvP being mashing buttons. What I do like is the extension of the end, because it fills in more of the adventure, and that's the direction Mojang wants to take, which is fine. And I think they will finally improve the engine a bit more after the mess that's 1.8, so I hope that. Anyway, do you think Aznor is updating to 1.8 because of money? Is that the thing that keeps him going? I don't think so. I think, like, if you look at the history of Thaumcraft, Aznor always used a new major version as an excuse of sorts to redesign Thaumcraft, and it's just another case of it. He can't do it in 1.7 because someone would come complaining about compatibility. Like, remember when GregTech 6 came out, all the annoying issues?
Oh, yes.
Exactly. Best drama you have ever seen created? Probably Nova. Todd agrees. Nova was like very big, one of the recent big dramas. That was big.
Yeah, I agree.
And still, I also have to say that there are other good dramas, but I just don't recall them right now.
When Elram came back, that was a pretty good drama.
What's Nova? I'm going to decide. We don't have time for this.
http://nova api.net.
It's in the chat, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, can I just have a small, like, 1 second recording break so I don't get one 10 gigabyte file?
Okay.
We'll be right.
Okay.
We'll be right back after these. We're back.
More questions, maybe?
Such drama, wow.
Are we getting the rave place or not?
Are we getting the rave place or not? Maybe next
What are you talking about?
Is that a question? Yes, it is.
How
it misses the question mark.
How do we kill Drama Lamas?
With reason.
How?
Yes. I guess you can't ever kill it.
Yes,
completely.
As you can see, you cannot ever kill Drama. Drama will always be there, because drama comes from tension, and you can't resolve tension by pretending it doesn't exist like some people try to. The only way to resolve tension is to go out and resolve it, even if it means someone gets hurt.
Okay,
It's a shame, but that's how the world works.
I have to read out Vic's answer. Little Brine, you can kill everything with a good sharp knife.
With your voice, it sounds amazing.
I have no idea. I'll have to try to reproduce that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta jump off. Good panel. Otherwise.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Yeah, later. Later.
So apparently, I'm good at sounding like a yandere in a show I haven't heard of just by reading off a bit of text. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're when you go serial killer voice like that, yes.
Will there be a drama mode in the pack for Better Than Minecon Squared? I don't know. We have open computers. What is Wavla? I think that should be dark hacks.
MLP question mark?
Wavla
Yes.
is an add-on for Violet that expands on almost every aspect of Violet. Question: MLP.
Yes.
Modding leaks pain. Yes. Why are you not running the server on Cauldron? Because Cauldron breaks certain mod features because of its hackery, and I can't be bothered trying to support Cauldron and tons of other things.
It actually doesn't break that much.
Yeah, it doesn't break that much, but it does have a tendency to break Buildcraft a lot.
It breaks redstone, basically.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
I was gonna start doing the Doctor Who theme, and then I didn't want to get into any copyright issues.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, the Gma might come in and that would end badly.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. If you do it yourself, then technically it's... I don't know, it'd be
It
parody
depends
laws? I
on
don't
the
know.
country. It depends on the country, and I'm not sure where our server is hosted.
I know. Or in the England, I think in England, fair use was allowed recently.
Right. Is it smaller on the outside? No, the con is probably the same size on the outside. We don't have compact machines. Define serious. Serious means pertaining to the subject on... Where'd the screen go?
Also Sam.
It's still
no
there.
one has to be killed. How serious are Minecraft modding?
That's not
Okay.
a question.
How serious are we about Minecraft and modding?
Not
That's
very-
serious.
Well, yeah, that's serious, exactly. For us, a drama is a matter of life and death.
Exactly.
Some people are taking it too serious, I guess.
Is the anvil a hint at something? No. How to get music on tapes? You can use a converter tool on the Computronics wiki, and then you can use the tape program on open computers to write it to the tape.
Vic, are you answering the how serious question?
Yeah, right. So Vic said Vic said I can still make fun of it, so I don't think I take it too seriously. Anyway, next question. Do you miss AE1? I don't myself, because I always thought it was very overpowered, though it was quite fun, I admit. But with AE2 configs, you can get it close to what AE1 does, and making the presses a non-issue is just 4 Mindtweaker lines away.
I think AE2 is much more interesting.
What I definitely don't miss about AE1 is the auto-crafting system. AE2 does that much better, I think.
I'm gonna say this: AE1 was quite simple, and for some people that's good, but for other people that's bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't use MP3 or ASC. Nope, you have to use our special format for various reasons. Sangar, can we have channels in OC? It's asked.
I remember seeing
maybe
a bundled
in
cable.
OC2. Also, you skipped the question.
OC2.
Which of us work as programmers in real life was a question.
I don't. Yeah,
I do.
I think Sangar is the only one. Sangar and the other guy is the only one. Because most of us are still in university or college or just studying at school.
Yeah, I do.
So,
I do just
yeah.
contract work. I'm still a student, but I do contract work.
Right.
People.
It's not confirmed yet.
Sangar, bundled cables when?
Thanks for the reminder whenever I find the time and motivation.
Okay, may we get a shrinking mod in the near future? We had one years ago, but it's dead now. Well, most packs just use morph.
How
Save this
old are
question
you?
for last.
Okay, so let's save it for last, which isn't going to be far away.
Can anyone
no,
remember that then?
Okay, I will remember that. Dark Hack says, technically modding is my only job right now, so I am kind of a professional. And another question, why does morph suck so much? Because I think it just doesn't fit most people's playstyles, because it is just weird compared to many tech mods and stuff.
Also, it's. I also bet it's also been like it's playing with Minecraft code that's in a presumably hacky way.
Yeah, very hacky, like you're replacing players.
Yeah.
Working block shrinking mod that makes working block. That makes working blocks. I think the only mod like that is Little Blocks mod, but that never worked super well.
There was that World and World mod, wasn't there?
There's Tiny Cards by Imebis, which makes a small chunk on a minecart.
Oh, that's cute.
Hey.
And you right-click the minecart to enter the chunk and edit it. Mini quarries when? Nano quarries, if anything. I thought we were saving that for last.
Not again.
What is about the Gulliver's mod? I've never heard of it.
Neither have I.
Should we open a Google? Oh, mods! Oh yeah, the shrinking mod.
Where's Aichan? Why is he not at the con?
Yes, because he's at Minecon, isn't he?
He is at worse than BetterThanMinecon. Like 2 hours. He's just on a panel.
Right. Yeah, he's in another panel in another. Aichan is in another castle. Is 256 blocks height limit so limiting? I never ran into a limit with it. Give us 4096 tall worlds. Well, the problem with high worlds is that there are issues with calculating skylight and etc. And the Minecraft lighting engine barely works anyway. Question: have you guys seen the old Meta Worlds mod? No, myself. And if so, what are your thoughts on FZ's attempt to recreate it with the Hammer engine? I think it means worlds inside worlds, which is what FZ's hinges and stuff do.
AC, your internet probably dying or something.
Huh?
You sound a bit. You get like a bit noises.
Not for me.
All right.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
come
He's
on!
fine.
Don't tell me your dad is downloading 10 images at once.
Okay. Why is Minecraft so popular among teenagers now? They used to hate it. I think it's because back then, like 4 years ago, Minecraft was very popular among young children, and not so much among older teenagers who saw it as a child's toy. But now, 5 years later, those children grew up, and now they're teenagers.
Also, it's Lego, but you don't have to actually move.
Right. Seamless portals mod, anti-chamber style. That's actually a 1.8 feature, I think. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Murders, AC.
Yeah, essentially Minecraft is digital Lego, especially with and with mods, it's digital Lego Mindstorms.
Microsoft so.
Yeah.
Minecraft, it's like Lego, but more
Also, Dark Hack said, I think there's also XCamp with this thing, Looking Glass. It's not a virtual dimension, it's just a rendering trick, which lets you render fake worlds or other worlds in arbitrary places.
Yep.
But with factorization, you also have like editing the dimension, etc.
It's kind of
Ichon
like
has something similar with doors.
Archimedes ships post actual dimensions, yeah.
Yeah, right. iTunes door mod.
Mm.
Someone is asking why Chisel's textures are horrible.
Well, you can look around. I don't think this room looks horrible, and it's 100% chisel. And
Depends
some
on which ones you pick. They have to fit what you're currently building, of course.
Yeah, exactly. The problem with chisel, like, if you have few building blocks, then
you have to pick a palette, basically.
Yeah, well, with chisel blocks, you have to choose them. You have tons of variety, hundreds of blocks. You need to pick which ones you think fit. But with Minecraft, you have very few blocks, so you need to get a bit more creative, and that gives less options, and it's easier to pick something. Chisel essentially tries to be everything, but with great power for the builder comes great responsibility, and if you just spam blocks, it's going to look ugly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Prof Mobius's voice? I've never heard it.
He has quite a strong French accent. I wonder how it is compared to your own accent, Doc.
Well, yeah.
Why doesn't Risky Ken sit over here? Well, come on, Risky Ken, sit with us. You're a modder. You made Armor's Workshop.
I can teleport him if you want.
There's a seat free right next to me, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Flavia was in here a minute ago, and he was just sitting in the audience.
Oh, because Risky's eating. Well, we have plates. It's fine.
If it goes on like this, there will be less people in the audience than on stage.
Yeah. Oh well. We're all modders deep inside our hearts.
Yeah, technically I did release Upload Obsidian and contributed to Tinker's Mechwork, so...
Right.
But I'm not gonna answer questions, fuck that.
Smaller on the outside or bigger on the inside? What? I made a mod that adds a mod, basic tools and basic armor. The problem is, making one mod doesn't automatically make you like a modder. The problem is that there are hundreds of people who made a single mod, and we need to have people on stage who are actually knowledgeable with the community. How do you deal with idea guys? Well, I use IntelliJ IDEA myself. But probably mean people who have too many ideas and just spam ideas at modders. I usually tell them to do it themselves if I don't like it, and if I like it, I just make it, because why not? Yeah. Dark Hack says, I try to take all features, although sometimes they can be very persistent.
Yeah, send them to the issue tracker and tell them to discuss it with others. That works great.
Yeah, and he says by take, I mean listen to. Yeah, we all mean that.
I wonder if we should try and get Vic to use IntelliJ again.
That's going to cause a lot of problems.
Won't work.
Well, maybe we can to fix their laptop.
It is Vic. It is Vic. Do you really think you can change Vic's mind?
Yes. And I've done it before.
Many reasons.
You only think you've done it.
Which one? Which one have you fixed? Or can you fix?
Someone asked, why is this better than Minecon? I'm going to say, hasn't this already been asked and answered for?
Yeah.
What if you gems?
The silence relates to a poll.
Vic, I'm going to say autosave. While you think autosave is a bad idea, I think it's a good idea because I think autosave is a good idea if you have version control. Because if you think about it, version control is like you don't you can do autosave if you have version control because you won't lose any kind of... You won't really lose stuff. And...
IntelliJ has autosave.
The thing is, you can configure all of that. So...
I'm late. Okay, Barbus asked a question. In the case S does push the new C++ version, what do you think would be the best course of action? Can anyone answer that?
Nova can wrap that.
Et voila.
Hopefully.
Either that or just keep using the Java version.
Or
Hopefully it won't
just
go
write a
away.
mod that loads Java.
Or follow Vic's idea and convert
There'll always
Nova
be a
into a
Java.
game engine.
Well, actually, Nova currently. Well, I thought of some stuff for Nova, and there are some options to work with C++. So we have like
Okay.
we have compiler. I found some compilers that could compile Java to machine code and stuff like that. But we need to do more research if that really is the case.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
But I'm
the
thinking
question is
that-
really,
Can I
would they have...
I need to read out questions before they scroll off the screen. How can
They
one
could ask
use
again.
Wawa if he hates Whaler? I think there's a very simple question. You don't.
Yeah, I have to say that we're getting a lot of questions from one person. Gradle versus Maven versus Ant. Oh man, that's
Can't they
difficult.
work
I don't.
together somehow?
Gradle all the way.
Yeah,
Be
Gradle's
the
problem.
debate
Well,
next
Maven doesn't fit because Maven is like a repository
Yeah,
system, and
exactly.
Gradle and Ant are build tools. And Ant uses XML, which automatically disqualifies it. So Gradle all
Yes.
the way.
Yes. Yes.
What's
Also,
the problem with pushing mods
offline
from
mode.
the server to the client? There's one problem: security. If a server
Yeah.
pushes a virus, they're not going to blame the server, they're going to blame us. As Darkhack says, it allows room for malware and also violates mod author copyright, though the latter part is not true for very many mods anymore.
Mm.
Why is allow ops access to secured things not default in most mods? I think it's just because nobody bothers implementing it.
Well, yeah, also remember, modders don't actually play this game, they mod.
Yeah, exactly. Like Algorithm X2 said, it's the modding curse. You either play the game or mod it, never both.
Unless
I
you reach
agree.
Warcraft.
We joke about
Yeah.
that on the wiki as well. Wiki
Right,
slaves don't play the game.
any more questions? Or you make mod packs. Yeah, though.
Right.
I thought most mod authors took ops into account. I always have, says Darkhacks. I have to say, I think more often ops have more and more power to that, but many people simply don't play multiplayer, so that part gets neglected a bit. Like, remember before the SMP merge, how bad multiplayer support was in mods? Like 1 in 5 mods support SMP? Forgecraft kinda has more streamers on it now than modders. True. Forgecraft is, well, many people who are modders on Forgecraft just quit modding, and many of them went on to become streamers.
I feel like most mods on Forgecraft are in the maintain stage and not really new features.
Yeah. Yeah, but then maybe that's better, they get more time to play with each other. I think it's better for them. What if it was still delete meta-inf days today? I can imagine someone making automated tools to automatically bundle mods in a jar. And then I could imagine someone making automatic patchers, which would work like car mods, only compile time. And that would also mean permissions would go away, because everyone would need the rights to modify mods.
Basically, mod packs would be even more important.
Yeah, but so basically you wouldn't be able to play without a good mod pack.
Yep.
Right. Because as we'll probably run
That
into
suggests that nobody would ever invent a mod loader. Well, the delete meta-inf days were during the early mod loading days, kind of, too.
Yeah.
I remember having to delete meta-inf from any mods, especially if I wanted to tweak anything in a mod. Risugami, I feel that Risugami gets forgotten a lot nowadays, while he and 303 like built the base on which we founded modding pretty much, the modern modding, like the first mod loaders, the first network sync. So I think we should give a round of applause for Rizugami and 303 just to show that the modding community still remembers their work.
I won't tap. I type.
I'm clapping, but press the talk button.
I tried.
Clap, clap, clap.
Headbang.
my head.
Let's get Risu for the next BTM. I think Risu quit the Minecraft community in general, though he still hangs out in RisuCraft. I don't think it will be easy. But if anyone wants to try and get them in, be my guest. I'd love to have a Risu panel on here.
Not right now, not like for next.
No, it can be right now, don't worry. I still have a whole schedule left. Anyway, any more questions? Because we're going to have to end in like 4 minutes because I need a few minutes, 2 minutes to prepare the next talk, which is going to be by Mitchell Bryan. It's about mod testing.
Oh, shoot, the last question.
Go, ask questions.
Ask.
Okay.
What time is it? It's 17:53.
What time is it? Yeah, it's 7 to 30 actually here.
6 to 7.
Okay, last question.
GMT, it's
No, it's 7 to 7. Sorry, it's 7 to 7. So, AC, will you marry me? Definitely not at the convention.
Oh.
No. Only copy marry AC.
Anyway, if one wanted to get into creating mods and has decent programming experience, is reading Forge Source good idea? If you start reading Forge Source, you will start asking questions, and if you start asking questions, you're going to get banned from Minecraft Forge. Will you be angry if I go now? Well, sorry that you have to go, but go. Okay, now that Achat is leaving, we shall have the last questions. Are there any announcements related to your mods or anything about modding that you want to make at this convention?
Nope.
No.
There probably would be if we had time to prepare.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm going to announce that Buildcraft 7.1 is coming out this summer, but I think everyone knew that. Still, it's probably a better announcement than Minecon.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Vic said, Nova is going to be awesome.
And Nova's gonna be awesome. And
also, AC promised better graphics cards for OC.
Yes, I promised to help design better graphics card for OC. Microsoft bought all my mods. He lied. AC, can I have a hug? Sorry, I can't get out of the seat right now. Audio system mods, I'm actually planning one and have been for a while. I might do it for the con.
Speakers!
Why did this panel start 3 hours early so I missed it? It didn't.
It started on time.
You need to have a better clock. Still, it's going to be on YouTube, hopefully. Also, it started late.
Oh no, what time zones are?
Anyway, when will the next BTM be? Not now. I think that's not the right time.
T-shirts.
Okay, so I think we have to. Schedule says 5 PM British time, and what?
Yeah.
What?
Then that's not.
Yeah, and that's when we started.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
Thoughts on people who join on IRC, says hi and live after a few minutes. No, I'm okay with those. What I'm not okay with is people who join on IRC say, why isn't this mod working, you suck, and then after a minute they leave, and then I go on IRC and realize, Dark Hack says, those people are not familiar with IRC culture, it can't be helped.
And apparently Vic left the channel for some reason.
Yeah, okay, so I think that's where we're going to wrap this con on. I hope you enjoyed this talk on. The con is still lasting for 4 more hours. I hope you enjoyed the talk. And see you next time. Oh, one last question. Do you think mods will ever get updated beyond 1.7.10? Yes?
Yes. OC is on 1.8. OC is on 1.8.
Yes, that's the last announcement. We're all updating to 1.8. That's the last announcement.
Don't lie.
Sangar already did.
Yep.
Me too.
Sangar
yeah, me too for some.
Yes, Sangar will help all, and I will do another rapid porting marathon. Thank you.